Welcome, Gemini. Welcome to your November 2021 reading. I'm Dee, and this is Intuitive Life Advice. I have pulled most of your cards to save you all some time when you come across my video. I know that time is precious, and if you want me to go through the full shuffle on camera, just let me know. I'm kind of just testing out a few different ways to do it. Got one more card here to pull for you, and then we'll get started. I have a free one-card message for you that I'll do after this reading, and it should be in line with this reading. Just an extra message for you, free, as my little gift to you. So the link will be pinned in the comment section at the top of the comments. So please check that out if you feel like you're resonating with the message here, then you may want to go to that link and see that extra message. Got one more card here to pull out for you from the Soul Truth deck. This is the only deck that I'm using that is not one of my own original decks. Looks like you are going to hold the record for the most cards coming out. And that's all right. They're here because they need to be. Okay, Gemini. Oh, don't forget, watch your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos. It'll give you the most accurate view of your situation, and sometimes some of them won't resonate, some will. And when they don't, it just means those messages aren't for you. Just go to the next one and let's get started here. What I'm seeing here for you today, Gemini, is that there's a situation that you were in. I don't feel like you're deeply in this situation or this commitment or relationship or whatever this situation is. It's one-sided. There's not equal give and take. There's not both people putting in 50-50 toward this situation. It's just a one-sided deal. And since this is one-sided love, this card, that's the title of the card. And the depiction is ironic. I mean, it says, on the inside, there is an inscription in both rings, and one of them says, "I love you," and the other says, "I know." So, you know, it's one person is loved and one person is loving the other person. So it's not a healthy balance when it comes to a romantic love. It's just not. There's a lot of toxicity in this relationship. It feels like, and I've got the actual toxicity card here, but it also feels, I can just feel that it's just heavy, and you're just kind of always at a high stress level because you're wondering what this person is doing or saying, or it's just a heavy energy, and you're grieving. You're grieving in this relationship. It gives you a lot of grief. You know, normally when you grieve and just ache and hurt and feel so much pain and sadness and sorrow, it's because something has happened that has caused you to go through a spell of, you know, that type of discomfort, that grieving process. But there's also grief that you can feel when you're in a relationship that's bad for you and you just have a lot of grief. It's a horrible, horrible energy. Now, if you haven't come out of this yet, you will. And when you do, you're going to be learning to trust and build healthy boundaries in order to find your happiness in this world. When you don't have that ability to trust another, in a healthy way. You know, it doesn't mean to be naive and use naivete as, you know, anybody you meet, you know, trust them with all your might. That's not what this is about. It's about learning to use discernment when you're getting to know someone. You don't ever jump in with both feet. You always go through a learning process and a get to know you process. You're setting healthy boundaries. You're paying attention as to whether or not they're trying to trample on your boundaries or not. You know, when you have someone who aligns with your values, that's when you can start opening up a little more. But we don't want to open up right away, because that's how we get in situations that are toxic and cause us so much grief, as you have experienced here. So your message is, that's what your message is telling you here in this particular column. You need to learn to trust, and you will, and you're going to be building healthy boundaries. You're going to protect yourself from toxic people, and in doing so, you're going to find your happiness, and you will be happy. This card is here for you. Now, you got the knowing card, and this is a beautiful card, and I'm going to pull it over here, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, knowing is the name of the card. And it says, when you know deep within your soul that something is not right, trust yourself without question. Anything that doesn't feel right to you isn't good for you. Do not be swayed. Validation will come. It may take a day, a month, a year, or longer, but it will come. Trust that. Intuition is not bound to emotion. It is that gut instinct, your inner voice, a sense of knowing with complete certainty that what you are being shown is simply the pure and divine truth. It doesn't matter what situation you may find yourself in. Your sense of knowing will lead you in the right direction every time without fail, so always listen to it. And with this card being here in your reading, it's telling us that you were given insight. You were given the gift of intuition during this situation, but you were just kind of choosing to ignore it because you didn't want to pay attention to the red flags or your gut feeling or your better judgment, because you didn't want this to end. You wanted this to get better, not worse. You wanted this to go further, not stop. You wanted this to be the real deal, and it wasn't. This person was not who you needed them to be. They were not even who you thought they were. And I'm feeling like you're already turning a corner from this bad energy here, and you're already here in this energy where you're learning healthy boundaries and when to start trusting people. You know, you can generally trust a person until they prove to you that you can't trust them. But when you've been through such toxicity and grieving over within a relationship with someone, it tells me that you need to work on setting healthy boundaries, being careful who you let in, paying attention to what they are doing and saying. Don't listen to words. When someone tells you how they feel about you, they need to show you how they feel by their actions. And when you figure out how to do that, you're going to be on the road to happiness here. This is a definite. And it's happening now. So I feel like you're already feeling good about the things that are occurring now in your life, because your judgment is just so pristine and you've learned so much from this bad situation here. Now, your soul truth cards, we've got 4 of these, and normally 1 or maybe 2 will come out, normally 1. Now, you got 4, so what we're going to do is we're just going to read all of them, and then we'll go back to them and discuss them all. 1 is, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? 1 is, name all the things you love. 1 is, what excuses am I making right now? And the last one is, what am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me? Now, the first one, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? Now that is going to go hand in hand with this card and the message that I gave you just a moment ago about building healthy boundaries. And this is exactly the card that this card says, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships. And you know that you need to create boundaries that will be set before you allow someone to actually come into your space another level in. I mean, you meet somebody, you can't just automatically fully trust them. You're going to need to hope that you can trust them and hope that they're not going to trample over your boundaries and hope that you can have a happy, normal, loving, kind relationship with this person. But you can't be sure until you give it a little bit of time, because people will show their true colors when you just give them enough time to go through a few of the cycles. You know, you get to know somebody, just don't give it all until you know who you're giving it all to, okay? At least pay attention to the red flags in your intuition there. Your intuition right here is telling you to do that. Your boundaries, you need to make sure you've got those created and strengthened before you allow someone in. Name all the things you love and make sure you're one of the things that you love. That creates healthy love. You care for yourself. You're loving yourself in the proper way so that you know what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And what excuses am I making right now? This is going to be throwing us back into if you don't want to completely end this situation with whoever this was over here in this first column, or whatever situation that was, or the person it was, or whatever this was, you could be making excuses to kind of keep your one little toe stuck in this thing over here, so you don't have to end it all just now, or just yet. Now, what are you waiting for? Someone else to do it for you? Now, that message is kind of sarcastic, and it's like you're being it's kind of like it's giving you a tap on the rear end to get you moving. It's like, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? Get out of this situation. Get over here to this situation so that you are healthy and you've got healthy boundaries. You've got healthy trust. You don't have trust issues. You have healthy trust. You have your boundaries set. You've got everything you need to recognize a toxic person, you know that you need to allow time to get to know someone before you just fully let them into your space. And that's all you need to learn right now, and everything's just going to work out beautifully. This card here is telling us that you are going to be very happy. You're going to do exactly what you need to do, learn the lessons you need to learn, and gain the wisdom that you need to gain in order to find your happiness. And you will. It's guaranteed. It's right here. Gemini, that's your message. I hope it helps you in some way. That's why I'm here. Please don't forget to subscribe. It helps me reach more people. Like the video. Leave me a comment so I know I've reached you. And don't forget to watch your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos for the most accurate overview of your situation. And don't forget, I've got a free 1-card reading message for you following this video. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section. So join me there. Take care, Gemini, and I'll be back soon for more readings this week.